Hello and welcome to the second episode of the My MACC Podcast. I'm your producer, Jlyn, and on this episode, we'll be interviewing varsity golf coaches from Lakeview with Lilly, Project Success with me, and getting some amazing tech tips from Adrian. Hello, my name is Lilly, and I will be interviewing Brian and Katrina Corwin, also known as the varsity golf coaches, about the golf program at Lakeview High School. So, Brian, what is the history and tradition of the golf program at Lakeview?
To my knowledge, the program was started in the early 70s, possibly late 60s. Norm Namiga was I don't believe he was the first coach, but he was I believe the second. He coached for approximately 20 years, 22 seasons. I had the privilege of playing for him for my 4 years. And from there, John Carlson took over for roughly 10 years. Dan Willison followed by Jerry Kellogg, and then myself.
Thank you. How long have you been coaching the golf team, and what is your coaching philosophy?
This will be my 13th season, and my philosophy is pretty simple. I want the kids to enjoy the game when they're done. Not necessarily do we have to be competitive throughout the season, but I want them to enjoy the game, and it's something they can enjoy after they graduate.
Okay. What are the expectations for academic performance for student athletes in your program?
They're a student first before they are an athlete, so the expectation is that they perform in the classroom before they get the opportunity to perform on the golf course.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Now on to Katrina. How do you select team captains and leaders, and what responsibilities do they have?
So we select team captains and leaders by their performance during the season. So like for this upcoming next fall in 24, we won't pick captains until the end of the season because they got to earn that leadership role. And we just look for people who are going to stand out, want to help the athletes, their teammates, who's a good role model, who has good sportsmanship, who has good academics, who's playing often. They just got to be a good role model to all the other athletes on the team.
Okay. How do you handle team dynamics and promote a positive and supportive team culture?
I'm going to refer this one to Brian, actually, because he goes over this a lot.
Could you repeat that, please?
How do you handle team dynamics and promote a positive and supportive team culture?
Team dynamics are always different because not everybody's the same, so it falls back on us to figure out what those differences are and try to come to a common point with the team. More times than not, it's the little things that make a difference, not necessarily the big aha, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. It's just trying to make sure everybody understands that while you're all different, you're all here for the same reason. So while you're here, this is what we're focused on. So everything else kind of doesn't matter at this point. So we're here to make sure that we're being the best student athletes we can on the team. And the second part of that question was again?
Supportive team culture.
We support it by hosting we've done this the past couple of years, have a team bonding night. So that way the girls get to go, or boys for that matter, get to know each other outside of the golf course. And they kind of discover they have a lot more in common than what they thought just seeing each other on the golf course. So that tends to provide dividends. Once we have that event, it seems to make the team gel a little bit better together.
Okay, thank you. And how do you communicate with parents and student athletes about important team information and updates?
I do a lot of this, and it's usually through text. We have a group parent text, we have a group player text, and anytime there's a change, anytime there's any kind of issue going on or any kind of event coming up, we communicate with the players or parents through the text.
This has been an interview with the golf coaches of Lakeview High School. I'm Lilly, and thanks for watching and listening. Hi, and welcome to the My MACC Podcast. My name is Jlyn. Today I am here with Tyler and Riley. Hi, guys. All right. So, Tyler, would you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and why you're here today?
Yeah, my name is Tyler Wygent. I work at Mid-Michigan District Health Department, and I have an evidence-based program that we introduced to all the schools throughout Montcalm County. It's called Project Success.
And then, Riley, would you also tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Riley Reese. I'm with the Montcalm Youth and Prevention Collaborative. We have two fields. One of them is youth-based, and one of them is a whole collaborative. And we kind of just work with substance abuse and prevention. Yeah.
Great. And then could you give me a little better understanding on what exactly Project Graduation is?
Yeah.
Not graduation, Project Success.
Yeah, with Project Success, so like I said, it's an evidence-based program. Our goal is to get into all of the 7 schools, the main schools in Montcalm County. It's got 4 main topics. We talk about being a kid, we talk about substances, relationships with friends and family, and then finally we finish with coping skills and stress. And there's 2 lessons for each, and we kind of, depending on our context with the teachers and whatnot, we are pretty flexible with the program.
And then what does the youth collaborative do that kind of goes hand in hand with Project Success?
We work to just promote safety in the youth. So whether that's safety at home or just safety for yourself. So not using drugs or alcohol or that kind of thing that could bring harm to you as a person.
Mm-hmm. And then what are some things in the past that Project Success has done, and then do they have any current plans for the future?
Yeah, currently, so we got to turn in as much as the program is evidence-based, we did get permission through the developers to actually adapt the program a bit, and by that, we keep the information and all of that is the same. However, the delivery is a little different. Mm-hmm. So we get to have a lot of fun with the kids as far as playing games like Jeopardy, Family Feud. We have a little relationship contest where the kids get to do a skit, and it's just a lot more hands-on and engaged for the kids versus just handing them some papers or handouts and having them turn it in, which is pretty awesome. And our plans essentially are just to be in all 7 schools, which last semester we were in 6 of the 7, and this semester we've been in a new school that we weren't in last year, and we're hoping to, if we get everyone else on board before the end of the year, we'll have all 7.
Great. And then you had mentioned about how they do youth training. Could you give us a little more information on that?
Yeah. So twice a year, in January and then in the summertime, they send 6 or 7 kids just places. So in January it's to DC, and then in the summer it's to one of 3 or 4 locations where you kind of just get trained on how to help prevent substance abuse and misuse at your house or within your community, and then you kind of bring the training back. So there's a lot of good opportunities in each one. They're all different, but they're also all the same, but they're really good at helping bring back different ideas, and they're very interactive, so it's not just handing them a piece of paper and saying to go with it.
Yeah. And then where are places we could get more information on Project Success and the Youth Collaborative?
You can go right to Mid-Michigan District Health Department. You can go right to their website, and we should be listed under there along with other options for the substance use program. And you also could contact any of the schools have our information. So a lot of the contacts, we're in the 7th grade and the 9th grade. That's the target. So most of those teachers by this point know who we are.
And then could we find more information on the Youth Collaborative?
We have a website. It's just Montcalm Prevention Collaborative, and so there's the collaborative and the youth part of it. And then within the schools, because we go to all 7 of the schools in Montcalm County, there's a lot of information in there that you could use to find it too.
Great. And then what has been one of the past things that Project Success has done that you liked a lot, or one of your favorites?
My favorite lesson we've implemented is during relationships with friends and family. We have the kids, like I said, that's a contest. So that's a lot of fun because it gets the kids outside the box thinking, and they come up with these wild skits, which are still on point into the lesson, but it seems like their creativity is just off the charts, and it's awesome.
Great. And then what is a thing that has been your favorite working with the Youth Collaborative?
I like our pre-prom that we put on. It's just a safe way to get kids to and from prom. So it's free food, pictures, transportation, and tickets. So you just sign up, and then they give you the food, they give you the pictures, they take you to prom, and then they bring you back to the high school, or you can then do after prom, which is not ours, but also another way of having just a safe, like, party after prom.
Yeah. And then if we could get you to give us the website for the Montcalm prevention, again, just so our listeners could hear it.
Yeah, you can find us at montcalmprevention.org.
Could you say it one more time and a little slower for us?
montcalmprevention.org.
Thank you so much. And then if you could also give us the website for the Mid-Michigan District.
Yeah, you can find information for Project Success at midmichigandistricthealthdepartment.org, or just put in mmdhd.org. That's a lot easier. Again, mmdhd.org, and you'll follow the substance use tab over to substance use disorder, and then scroll down, you'll see Project Success, and there's a nice little flyer with all of our information.
Again, thank you guys so much for coming out today, and that is the end of today's segment. Hello, my name is Brooke Robinson, and welcome to another segment of the Word of the Day. Today's word of the day is perseverance. I am joined here with a very special guest. His name is Dwayne Arthur Weed. Please introduce yourself.
My name's Dwayne. I'm the digital arts instructor here at the MACC.
Thank you so much. My first question for you today is, what do you think the word perseverance means, and how can using this word heighten your vocabulary?
Well, perseverance is doing something hard and staying on it till you complete it. How you can use it in today's world, you have to persevere in everything that you do, from schoolwork to a job, and just keep pushing.
That is such great advice, Dwayne. How can having good grammar and a strong vocab benefit students in school when they are writing things such as essays and reports?
Having a good vocabulary is important in any field,
Indeed.
Whether you're in high school or you're out on a job, because you need to be talking the language of the job that you're in. So very, very, very
Yes.
important.
Yes, and students can use these special words in their essays to make them seem smarter. Is that correct?
But if you overuse it, it doesn't make it as smart. So use it when it's needed, but don't overuse it.
Okay. How important is it to include advanced language in job interviews in order to give off a more professional impression, in order to heighten your chances of getting hired into the job that you want?
If you're in a job that requires you to use that kind of terminology is great, but for the most part, in a job, you want to be real. You want to keep it creative and direct, but yet don't come across as being a know-it-all. Otherwise, they're going to go, we don't want you. No job for you.
So the advice from D. Weed is keep it real, folks. My last question for you today is, how does being good at talking and writing play a role in how people see you at work?
And that's what I think about that.
Okay. Well, things are for sure funnier in your head, D-Weed. And I also am going to ask you, what can students do better at the vocabulary? How can they expand their vocabulary and succeed in their careers if they are behind in their vocabulary?
You have this tool called the internet, and if you're in a profession, you can Google words that are important to that profession and start seeing how you can incorporate that into doing your job.
The internet is very resourceful, but stay away from the Urban Dictionary, kids. Thank you so much, D-Weed. Thank you for joining me today. You are so smart.
In my head.
In his head, he is smart. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed.
Hello, welcome to Tech Talk with Adrian. I am Adrian, and today we will be talking about the importance of backing up your data. So, why should you back up your data? Well, there are a few reasons, such as hardware failure. Your hard drives, computers, and other electronic devices could fail at any time. If you don't have a backup of your data, you could lose everything. There are also software failures. Software bugs and viruses can also cause data loss. A backup can help you recover your data if something goes wrong. Human error. Accidental deletion of files is another common cause of data loss. A backup can help you get your files back if you make a mistake. Theft or natural disaster. If your computer or device is stolen or damaged in a natural disaster, you could lose your data. A backup can help you recover your data even if the original device is lost or destroyed. Backing up your data is essential for both individuals and businesses. Individuals can lose important personal data such as photos, videos, and documents if they don't have a backup. Businesses can lose valuable business data such as customer records, financial data, and intellectual property. There are many different ways to back up your data. You can back up your data to an external hard drive, a cloud storage service, or a network-attached storage device. You should choose a backup solution that is right for your needs and budget. Once you have chosen a backup solution, you should set up a regular backup schedule. It's important to back up your data frequently enough so that you don't lose too much data if something happens. You should also keep your backups in a safe place, such as a fireproof safe or a cloud storage service. Here are some tips for backing up your data. Back up your data regularly. How often you need to back up your data will depend on how often it changes. If you change your data frequently, you may need to back it up daily. If your data doesn't change very often, you may be able to back it up weekly or monthly. Keep your backups in a safe place. Don't store your backups on the same device as your original data. If your device is lost or stolen, you will lose both your original data and your backup. You can store your backups on an external hard drive, a cloud storage service, or an NAS device. Test your backups regularly. Make sure to test your backups regularly to make sure that they are working properly. You don't want to find out your backups are corrupted when you need them most. By following these tips, you can ensure that your data is always protected. This has been Tech Talk with Adrian. I am Adrian, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed. Special thanks to all of our guests that came out to the podcast. Tune in next week to see Zaylee's new episode on suicide awareness.